Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Straight from the Coffin with two goths in a coffin. I'm your favorite host, Amari.
And I'm, I guess, your least favorite host,
Oh,
Jude.
wait, no, that's sad. I guess we can be co-favorite hosts. That's what we are.
Okay.
Does that work? Can you have two favorites? I think so.
Sure. I mean, it's fine. Because I was going to say your second favorite, but second favorite of two is the least.
No! We're your co-favorite hosts because you can like two people at the same time equally, and you do because we're both really cool.
Okay.
Anyways, we have another episode of our little installment that we've been doing where we've been talking about
the horror movies that we hate.
Exactly.
It sounds like a horror, like a haunted house, like door effect every single time.
Maybe we'll leave it in.
You gotta get some WD-40 on those hinges.
We'll leave it in for effect.
Okay.
For atmosphere. Maybe we'll put a little spooky music in there, and to be honest, that's not gonna happen because I'm the one who edits these, and I'm lazy. So anyways.
You're like, I'm not doing all that.
I'm not doing that. So you're probably wondering, what are we going to talk about today? Which movie?
This is probably our most controversial pick.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's weapons.
Weapons. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. That movie sucked.
Okay, here's the thing. I really wanted to like it.
Oh, yeah.
I really did. And then I was with it for like half of it. And then once the witch like appears, once like Aunt Gladys like really becomes like a character, I was like, what the fuck is this?
And we'll get into that because that's
it didn't
part of
get better.
why.
And then it was like, oh, and like it felt like all the narrative wind was taken out of its sails. But to be honest, when I had first seen the trailer for it, I was like, this is a really interesting idea, but I have no idea how you would explore this as in a feature-length film without ruining the mystery and intrigue of its premise.
Yeah.
Because what's scary about it and what's intriguing about it is the fact that it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like them running in this way, like all of the collection of like ring camera footage that they released as like promos was really scary and very unsettling. But I was like, it's the fact that I don't know anything that makes it scary. So I was wondering the whole time, how are you going to maintain this tension for a full movie? And then he didn't.
So yeah. So, I feel similarly because I was also very hyped. I was also hyped because I'm like, what movie was it that Jordan Peele wanted so bad? Like, what are we getting into?
Yeah, what could it possibly have been?
And it looked so wild from the trailer, and I was super excited. So just being very clear, we both went into this wanting to like it. And I'm about the same way. Like, it was the first part was fine, and then it just kind of fell apart for me as we got further in. And even at that point though, I was just like, it's just like mediocre, it's fine, like it's not the worst thing ever. Honestly, after rewatching it, I kind of, maybe it's because I already have negative feelings for it, but I disliked it even more. But like at the time I was like, it's just fine. Like, but then everyone is overhyping it, and I'm like, I'm petty, and I'm
there
like,
were people who were like, this movie's better than Sinners, and I was like, you gotta be out of your fucking mind to say that Weapons is better than Sinners.
Shut the fuck up.
And then people who, when I don't know, would be like, if you don't get it, it's because you're dumb.
Ugh. God.
And I'm like, and
maybe
then
it's just bad.
I was so validated when Zach Kreger was like, I didn't really have a lot of rhyme or reason behind the imagery that I chose. And I was like, great, because it made no fucking sense.
Right.
Like, I spent so much time trying to be like, what if it's about this? I'm like, but then what the fuck does this mean?
I know,
how does
we
this
spent
fit
a lot of
into the
time
narrative?
like talking about it and like trying to, make it work and make it make sense. And then when he said that, we're just like, well.
Oh, I was like,
but honestly, it was even more annoying because as part of probably what we're going to talk about is the fact that he was also like, there's nothing political in it. And I'm like,
there's so much political. There is, okay, first of all, and I said this in like an old TikTok that I was just like, you can't call a movie Weapons and have it be about a elementary school class that disappears and then be like, why are people reading something political into this? Well, because the metaphor for a school shooting is right there, you fucking idiot.
Right.
Like, and then be like, oh, I didn't intend anything political. And it's like, you can't not when you call something weapons. And like, as we'll get into, we keep saying as we'll get into, and then we just keep talking about things. But it's like, there's a lot of things here that to me, of course, read apolitical from a very white male suburban point of view.
Right.
Many things would seem as quote unquote apolitical that are deeply political and very much reinforcing status quo.
But even just from like the very start, just like from what they showed us in the trailer with the way these kids are running as well, like every single, you were already getting political.
Yeah, because in the script, I think I said this, I don't remember when I've said this, but I've said this before, that it's like in the script itself, which is public, you can all read it. It says that the run is meant to emulate the Napalm Girl, the famous photograph from the Vietnam War, and to evoke that imagery for no reason is really weird.
Or to claim that you had no rhyme or reason.
To be like, oh, I had no like aims to make a political statement, and then evoke one of the most iconic images about American imperialism and militaristic violence.
Honestly, it's disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful, especially because, like, I don't know if you've seen that photo. It is so hard.
Yeah.
And it features a Vietnamese girl who who ripped her clothes off because napalm got on it, and she's running in pain.
Yeah.
And like she, had to get tons of skin grafts. Like her skin burned.
Yeah.
And then to be like, what if I did this and then everybody made a goofy little meme about it, about like running like that. And it's like, what if we all killed ourselves?
Honestly, it becoming a meme as well, it gets worse and worse. I'm like, everyone stop. If you want to do a silly little run, do the Naruto run.
But it's like, I think most people don't even know that that's what it was supposed to be. And it's like, why use it at all? Like, that's the thing. I'm like, why use it at all? Like,
especially if you're claiming that you're not saying anything.
I know, that's the thing. Like, if there was a deeper reason, like, if he was being like, I am making a statement about how in state violence, children are the first ones to be harmed or whatever, then I would be like, okay, sure. But to make this claim that you don't intend to say anything political and then to use that imagery made me very, like, grossed out.
I know. Even just rewatching it this time, like, with the knowledge of how he went about it and him claiming that he wasn't going in with anything, like, political to say, it made it even more disgusting to watch this time. I was like... I texted you and I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah. But did we want to start getting into more of the structured, because we've just kind of been talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, we start with the teacher, Justine Gandy.
Yes.
And we start off with, like, this, like, narration from this little kid. I don't even know. Do we know who that kid is? Did they ever say? Or am I supposed to know?
Oh, the kid. I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Okay. Because they're giving this, like, narration for it, which honestly I didn't like.
I was like, I thought it was fine.
I thought it didn't add anything to me. So I was like, okay, whatever. But then, we get immediately right off the bat into the premise, which is basically like randomly one night, like 17 kids from this class all ran out of their house at the exact same time, 2:17 in the morning, and just like off into the night, and no one saw them ever again. And then the school got closed because they're trying to figure out what to do, but then it was closed for a month, and they're like, we need to open again. We can't
Right.
stay closed indefinitely. But then they have, like, this meeting, to address everything before they, like, officially reopen. And oh yeah, and like one boy was left behind. His name was Alex Lilly. And so he got questioned by the cops. Justine got questioned by the cops. They never really found anything, like, any leads with that. And so they have this meeting with all the parents and the teachers and whatever to kind of like address any big feelings that might be coming up with like resuming classes. And Justine is immediately attacked by the parents because, it was only her class and they think it's weird and suspicious. And she has to get like escorted out because it kind of starts to get like rowdy. The Justine segment is fine.
I really enjoyed the Justine segment. I think, especially if they had kind of stuck with her a little bit more, I think I would have enjoyed it even more, because I think that there's something really interesting about, the community scapegoat, and a conversation around the roles that teachers play, and how a lot gets kind of taken out on them. So I thought, and just the way it was done, I did think that it was done really well. And it had enough, like, there's still a lot of ambiguity at this point, that really helped with the tension and helped with just like the mystery building. And yeah, I thought this first part was great. So it makes me, I think that maybe we shouldn't have shifted perspectives so many times.
I was literally thinking when I got to the end of it, I was like, we should have stuck with one of these and just only done one of these.
One or max two. I would have preferred the one, but in the max two, I don't know which ones I would have picked, but as many as we did, that also really cut the tension as well. And it was successful in Barbarian, but also Barbarian only had like, what was two, right? Or three. It was three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was the two present day ones and then it jumped back to
that's right.
Like the flashback.
And see, I liked Barbarian. And that was another reason why I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, we watched Barbarian the night before we watched Weapons.
It made me super excited.
Yeah. And I noticed that he has a certain style where it's like you hit the climax and then you jump to someone else.
Yeah.
And he does that, I think, maybe too many times.
It worked for Barbarian, but it didn't work for this one.
In my opinion, this was a very interesting collection of short films. It should not have been one movie. These all could have been a short film.
And I also think it's because, like, the concept, like, the idea, the whole, what we were kind of presenting with at the top just works better with, like, maintaining the mystery and the way that things were like revealed between like all these different shifting like perspectives. I just think it kind of ruined the mystery as well. And
absolutely. But yeah, at this point we still have a lot of mystery going on. And so the next one I think is Paul.
Yes.
The cop. Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think it's Justine, Paul, Mark, James. No, wait, I'm a liar. It's Archer next, the dad.
Oh yeah, the dad. That's right.
I forgot about the dad.
That's right. I almost forgot about the dad.
It's Justine, Archer, Paul.
I thought there was someone before Paul, but I was like, who?
Then it's James,
Marcus, and then it's Marcus,
Alex,
and then Alex.
Okay, yeah, I totally forgot about Archer.
See, that's way too many. Like, I couldn't even remember all of them. Like, god damn.
Yeah. So next is like the dad, played by Josh Brolin. Because I just say, because I'm like, hey, that's Josh Brolin.
I know, right?
So, yeah, and, he's sleeping in his son's bed. Mm-hmm. Like, he is in it. He is stuck here.
Yeah.
And he is obsessed with this. It's kind of ruining his focus on everything else.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so you
find out that he's the one who
also, and it's here. This is relevant to the storyline because it's like he's the one who painted the stuff on her car,
right?
But he has like ring camera footage. This movie feels like it's trying to justify the presence of Ring cameras. Because Ring cameras are crucial to figuring out where the kids went. And it feels like a reinforcement of the surveillance state.
That is
like, if they didn't have Ring cameras, we would have never known that they were in Alex's house. We would have been able to triangulate where they went.
Whoa. I just got shivers.
I couldn't stop thinking about that.
That is such a good, point. Especially when we get into, the other stuff, how we feel like, honestly, it feels like they're more conservative.
This movie is a deeply conservative movie.
Right.
A deeply conservative movie that is only reinforced by his refusal to call it political.
Right.
Because then what he's doing is accepting all of these things as normal. By saying that they're not political, this is just status quo.
Right.
This is nothing that has any agenda. Therefore, it's normalized. We accept it all. And one of the things is the fact that he goes to the other parents' houses and finds and asks to see their also, whatever. He asks to see their Ring camera footage so that he can figure out the angle. But it's because he has this dream and whatever. And he sees above the house, basically he goes to the night it happened, and he sees above his house a gun, a rifle, a military looking ass rifle,
right?
And it points in a direction and then says the 217, and then he goes back in, his son is there, and he starts to say the things to his son he wishes he could say, and then suddenly it's the fucking Aunt Gladys face jump scare. Oh, I forgot. Did we have an Aunt Gladys jump scare in the Justine segment too?
Oh yeah.
Because she also has a nightmare.
Yeah. She has a nightmare.
She has a nightmare, and I will say, Zach Cregger knows how to shoot a house scary.
Yes, I do always like when he does that because he's really good at
making a hallway seem
that's
so
favorite
scary.
Thing that he does, because that in Barbarian, that was
just
so good.
What if every hallway was the scariest hallway you've ever been
right.
in? And I'm like, this is another mark in that Justine's a crazy person because why are you sleeping with your bedroom door wide open? I only do that because I have a cat. But when
mine's only cracked still. Yeah.
I keep trying to close it as much as I can, but my cats like to bust in they're the cops.
They all do. That's just what cats do.
And I'm just like,
you're like, why the fuck is this door closed?
Yeah.
You're like, calm down. Oh my God. Who said you have closed doors in this house?
Yeah.
Do you pay the bills? Yeah, actually I do.
It's you don't, certainly. Why don't you start paying some bills in this house? And then we can have a conversation about what these doors do. But, yeah. So she had a Aunt Gladys dream. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's because I think Aunt Gladys is the weakest part, so my brain starts to delete her from the movie.
Right. That's fair.
But yeah, so
it
anyway.
was because it was both there was that part and there was also the part where she goes into the classroom.
Oh yeah, and
the little boy looks up and you see
they all have the clown makeup on.
Yeah.
I mean, her makeup, she looks like a clown.
Yeah.
So yeah, they all have the weird makeup on, and then she looks up and she's on the ceiling, and then she screams. And then this one, he's telling the thing to his son, and then he looks and it's Aunt Gladys with her silly face.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up in his room, and then that's when he's like, I gotta figure out where everyone went, and then he's able to kind of triangulate it, and then that's where we have another Justin Long cameo, because I guess that's just someone that needs to be in every Zach Cregger movie. Justin
Are they
Long.
friends?
I don't know, but I did learn that the actress who plays Justin Long's character's wife is Zach Cregger's wife.
Oh.
Because I was like, this actress looks familiar to me. Her name's Sarah Paxton.
Okay.
And I've seen her before. I saw her in Aquamarine, which is that movie about the girl who becomes a mermaid.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, that sounds like, okay.
And they're married.
So funny. You watched that?
Aquamarine?
Yeah.
Back when I was a little kid.
Okay.
Why?
Nothing. I think
it was just on.
Okay.
Doesn't she turn into a mermaid?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was one of those.
I didn't see it myself, but yeah.
I don't remember anything other than she was in it.
Okay.
I just remember her mermaid, full with the wet hair in the water.
Okay.
That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a Disney Channel movie? Because that makes two where it's this person turns into a mermaid. Because Or was she already a mermaid? I don't remember anything about Aquamarine, I think.
No, I did not watch it.
Sorry. Because I think I'm getting it confused with 13th Year, which is...
Is that another
Yes,
mermaid?
It's a Disney Channel movie where this person is half mermaid, and now they've reached 13, and so they're turning into a mermaid.
So how many mermaid movies have you seen?
It's not that it's about mermaids, it's that it was a Disney Channel movie.
And it was on, so
it was on Disney Channel.
That makes sense.
And that was one of the channels we had unrestricted access to because it was Disney, so there wasn't anything bad on it.
Right.
So I've watched a lot of Disney Channel original movies.
I was too poor for Disney Channel. We had it every so often.
But yeah, anyway, Sarah Paxton, she was there. Also something about that, like, because Sarah Paxton's character is like, I don't really feel comfortable having you watch the footage. So he waits until her husband shows up, and then the husband lets him in.
I'm like, okay.
And
yuck.
her permission doesn't really matter anymore.
Yuck.
Because his need to see the footage is more important. And I'm like, Anyway. Disgusting. So then he gets that angle and whatever. And so then he is driving around and sees Justine getting gas, and he goes to confront her.
I'm gonna go talk to her.
Yeah, and he goes to confront her, and when he's confronting her, Marcus, with no eyelids, runs up.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Just runs up to them and
starts to attack them. And it's crazy. And then
they cut it. And I'm like, no, don't cut it. Don't.
Yeah. And then we jump to Paul, the cop.
God damn, I can't stand Paul.
Yeah. He is in a relationship that he obviously is not enthusiastic about, but it seems like he's just in it because that's his boss's daughter. And now if he can't really break it off because it puts him in an awkward position with his boss, you know?
Yeah.
Even though it seems like his boss doesn't really like him anyway. They have a very distant...
He's tolerant.
Yeah. Because this guy's kind of a spineless loser.
Yeah.
So...
Well.
Yeah. So then he goes out on his... Well, yeah, basically she's out of town on some meeting, like on a conference or whatever. And she keeps encouraging him to go to AA meetings, and he's like, I'll go if I feel like I need to go.
Right. And then he's
driving around, and he sees the kid, James, who we saw for a second earlier. He held the door open for Justine at the liquor store and asked if she had any change because he wants to get a bus to see his brother.
Yeah.
And he asked it twice, I noticed, when he opens the door both times for her.
I noticed that too.
Because I'm like, he wasn't really looking at who it was.
He wasn't even paying attention. He's on a mission.
Yeah, he needs this money.
Yeah.
And so he sees him, like, messing with a window, and so he's like, a bored cop, so he puts on his siren and starts to chase the guy like he was, I don't know, robbing a bank instead
I'm like,
looking out a window. And then he like tackles him to the ground
already, like,
and like handcuffs him, and is like,
he starts doing his little spiel. He's like, do you have anything that might, poke me or anything like that? And
the guy's like,
James
no.
is like, no. And so he starts, patting him down, and he reaches into his pocket, and there actually is something in his pocket, and he gets, stabbed by a needle. And he
loses his fucking
He punches
mind.
him immediately. Yeah. So fucking hard.
Yeah, he immediately gets knocked out. He knocks him out with one punch.
One fucking punch. And I'm over here like, once again, you're talking about you don't got anything political going on here, but here we got police brutality.
Yeah, and then he sees that his dash cam was on, and he unplugs it, and then he starts to freak out because now the dash cam recorded him punching a guy with... The guy wasn't attacking him.
He was in handcuffs.
And from the angle, you can't see that he got stabbed, even though that's not that doesn't justify doing it. But it also looks worse because it looks like he just was patting him down and then punched him in the head.
Right.
So he's like freaking out, and then he decides to go to the guy as he's coming back to consciousness, and it's like,
he's like, listen. He's like, okay, I did you wrong. You did me wrong. I'm like, leave him fucking alone. I'm like, he probably didn't remember that he had that in his pocket. We're being honest. He's like,
this guy is barely with us.
I know, like, God,
yeah.
like, you're a cop. You've had to deal with people who are suffering with addiction, but we obviously know that they don't know how to fucking treat people. So, anyways, but he's like, you did me wrong, so like, I'm gonna let you go. Just like, don't let me catch you again. Don't let me see you again.
Yeah, he's like, or I'll arrest you. And the guy's like, okay, and he sprints off. And so he's freaking out, and he goes and he tells his boss, father-in-law, and is like, something happened, and the guy's like, well, if he doesn't press charges, then the tape will get recorded over anyway.
Yeah.
But if he does press charges, you're kind of fucked. And so he's like freaking out.
Yeah.
And then he gets this text from Justine that's like, hey.
He's like, I'm coming.
Yeah. And so then, the scene we've already seen, but then they add on that they did have sex.
They did.
And then she drops him off back at his house. His fiance came back early, and she immediately is like, how could you do this to me?
Right.
Because she takes a look and she's like, where were you? And he keeps dodging the question. And then she's like, I can't believe this.
Yeah. It's not shit.
Yeah. And so he goes back to work and he sees James.
And
he starts going after him again. At him.
Yeah. And then it cuts again.
It cuts there.
And I'm like, oh, great. Another cut.
And I kept wondering why the actor who plays James looked familiar to me. And it's because he was in The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I recognized him from The Walking Dead. I forgot that he's the guy who shoots Carl in the eye. He lives. He gets a cool eye patch.
Oh. Wait, which one's Carl?
He's the son. Rick's son.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know who he is. Yeah.
He gets a cool eye patch.
Yeah, I have seen it. I've seen it. Okay.
This actor does that. Not the actor, his character.
I know. Oh yeah, the actor for sure.
Oh yeah, he did that. No, yeah. Anyway, for sure. Next is does it jump to James, or does it jump to Marcus?
I know. I literally just watched this.
I think it jumps to James.
Why do I feel like...
Or does it jump to Marcus?
I don't know.
Which one do we want to discuss next?
Let's go ahead, since we're already talking about James.
Let's talk about James.
I think it is James because...
I feel like it goes Marcus and then Alex. Right?
Yeah.
Because we've already seen so much of Gladys at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at this point, Gladys is still a mystery.
Exactly. Okay. We're on it now.
Yeah, so then it jumps to James. And he is struggling, unfortunately. Right. He's living in a tent, and he is struggling with addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs cash. He needs cash.
Yeah.
And there's the bit where he is talking on the phone with, I assume, a relative or a sibling, because he says, I'll pay mom back, not my mom.
Yeah.
So it must be their mom. And he's just walking and pulling all the car doors to see who forgot to lock their car. And then he steals the little backpack to sell the iPad.
Tablet, yeah.
And the guy won't buy it. And he's like, come on! And then he
leaves. He starts...
Yeah.
How does he get to the house?
Well, what happens next is when he gets caught by Paul, because he sees the warehouse and he tries to break in.
No, it's not. He finds the house first, because that's when he finds the kids, and that's why
No, because that's afterwards. Because
first time he gets caught by Paul. That's right. Yeah. Okay, I was thinking that the second time he gets caught.
No.
Yeah.
He goes to look into the warehouse, and then he gets chased off by Paul. He wakes up and finds that he has it's whatever, this whole thing.
Right.
And so he's like, shit, I still need cash. And so he's like wandering, and then he finds the house. It looks abandoned. There's a bunch of newspapers outside, and the walls are papered up. So he's like, no one's in this house.
Let's go.
Yeah. So he's
searching around,
he finds his way
stuff. And then he's jump scared by
the parents covered in soup, like little holes all in their face.
Right. And he's like, what the fuck? But then he still keeps going.
Here's the thing, that another like little offhand line that did make me laugh is when he's looking at the stuff and he goes, oh, Willow. Like I was like, the movie Willow? Yeah, so, and then, you know, he's looking around, like he grabs a bunch of stuff, shoves it in his pillowcase, goes downstairs and sees a bunch of kids just standing there. He freaks out.
He's freaking out, and as he's freaking out, the parents start going after him and he dashes.
Yeah. And so then he has a bunch of stuff and he goes back to the pawn shop. He's like, how about now? And as he's doing it, he sees the poster for $50,000 if you can tell them where the thing is.
Hell and he's like, I know exactly where they are. Let me do that now. So he tries to call.
Yeah.
And I guess they're like, nah, you gotta come in. He's like, fuck.
Yeah, I love his like, I'm phobic.
I know, I'm phobic. That was funny. I'm like, real? Me too, man.
Yeah, he's like, I'm afraid of police stations. And I'm like, yeah. So then he's like, fuck, I gotta go. And I guess he's just kind of like hoping that cop isn't there, but unlucky, he's in the parking lot and he's like screaming at him. And so he immediately books it. Mm-hmm. But he starts to run. He gets to his tent, but like on his way there, he sees Gladys being a weirdo.
And scares the shit out of him.
Yeah, I think he's not sure if like what he's seeing is for real or not.
Right.
And so he goes into his tent and someone starts slowly unzipping his tent. And so he grabs a bunch of needles to stab them with. And it's the cop and he stabs him in the face. And the cop
freaks the fuck out
again because he got stabbed with 3 needles in the face.
And he has his own phobias,
issues, contamination, all that. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, throws him in the car and he's like, I know I wasn't lying when I said I knew where the kids were. I do know where the kids are. And they
go. Yeah. Paul goes in first, doesn't come out. It's all day.
Hours. It's like nighttime now.
Suddenly walks out all kind of weird like, and James is like, what the fuck? And then unfortunately
gets dragged in.
Yeah, gets dragged in.
And then it ends. And now we're on to Marcus.
And there's definitely stuff I want to talk about James and whatnot, but I also
talk about it.
Because I also want to talk about just like the various we kind of talked about in the car, but like I also want to talk about Mark.
Oh, do you want to wait until we get
yeah. Y'all are just gonna get the full summary basically. We'll get to it.
Yeah, it's like just in case you forgot bits. But so we're on to Marcus, played by Benedict Wong. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm only listing the actors who I was like, oh, it's you. But the ones who, when I watched the trailer, I said, oh, that's Benedict Wong. Or, oh, that's Josh Brolin. And then, anyway, so he is, I guess, on the phone with Justine when she was like, you got to do a welfare check because something is off.
And he's like,
and he's like grocery shopping
I'll
with
do
his
it.
partner. We're gonna get into it.
We're gonna get into some of the stuff that we see in this one. We'll get into it. At the end of this, I think we can get into it because we can go talk about the different weird marginalizations with
because we get more we get the Gladys intro in this one in a way that I think is substantial enough. Yeah. So then he's like, I'll for sure do it, and so he contacts somebody. He's like, get in touch with their parents, have them meet me here at 2:00. And Aunt Gladys shows up and she's like, I've been taking care of Alex's parents because they've been sick. And he's like, I need to speak to a legal guardian for legal reasons. And she was like, they can't, they have consumption.
And he's like, that's weird.
What the fuck is that? He's like, huh? And so everything feels off. I think now he's like, something is off.
Yeah.
And she's being very odd. Like she's being she's being friendly in a way that makes it very clear that she's stonewalling.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'll see what we can do, but they're really sick. And he's
like, well, if I can't, then the other thing
I have to get CPS involved.
Right.
And she's like, oh, no.
Fuck.
Because he's a mandatory reporter and all that. And if they can't confirm with anybody about anything, then they have to call CPS. And then so he's at home. It's a Saturday, and like Gladys shows up to his house.
She's like, oh my God, I missed the bus. Can I get some water?
And he's like,
no, but
and his partner is like, yeah, of course.
Come on
and he's
in.
like, no.
He's like, no.
And so then she asks for a bowl instead of a cup.
He's like,
and
weird.
He's like, what the? And so then she pulls out her little thorn branch and wraps some ribbons, like whatever, were wrapped up in it. And
we got
yeah. And then whatever, she starts to do the magic thing that she does, and she basically has Marcus kill his partner in a really violent way, smashing his head into his head until it's like concave.
I know.
And then wraps the Justine hair around it, and he runs off, and that's what we saw with the gas station. And she runs and they're trying to escape him, and then she gets in her car and drives away, and he's running after her car, and Archer was with her, so he gets in his car in pursuit, and then Marcus gets hit by another car anyway, and his head is also concave and is spread all across the street, and that's kind of the end of Marcus.
Wild times.
Sorry.
Yeah. And from here we would have gotten Alex, right?
Yeah, we get Alex after that, but
we need to dig into some of this.
We need to dig into some of
this.
This
is also part of these characters. These last two characters are part of honestly, the last three characters, because we are finally introduced fully to Gladys.
I would say James, Marcus, and Gladys, I think, mark a pattern that starts to become like kind of troubling.
Right.
Which is like the way that people who don't fit into a specific
Go ahead.
Like idealized conceptualization of the nuclear family are treated in this story. So like James, who's othered by being struggling with addiction, by being homeless, is seen literally is treated by Paul as a contagion. He's dirty. He's sick. You can catch what he has. He starts grilling. He's like, "Do you have AIDS? Do you have hepatitis?" And James is like, "I don't know."
And the thing is about that, it's not like an examination of this kind of fear, because we also at the same time, there's so many jokes about James. He's not treated seriously. He's used as the
comic relief.
Yes, as the comic relief, as if like addiction is like funny or something.
Yeah, like if it's funny that like he's not super present because of like his addiction.
Right.
Like that's treated as like funny. It's almost like they think it's interchangeable with like a stoner sort of like comedy thing. But it's like he is literally in a tent.
Right.
He has nowhere to go.
Right.
He is trying to get money any way that he can because he has no resources and no one will help him anymore.
Right.
Like this is where he has been driven to. And it just feels very unsympathetic towards him.
Yes, extremely. And then he still doesn't like, and he's just killed at the end. And I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something about it that's just weird, especially because the pattern continues with Marcus as well.
Yeah.
And
he's the only person in this main cast who's not white.
Who's not white.
And is also gay.
He's also gay. And you also get like the little jokes here. We get like the weird Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, he bought his husband's like basically holds up the box of Fruity Pebbles and he's like, yeah, like, so I'm like, weird. And he's always wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt, and their lunch seems like childlike. It's a bunch of hot dogs with like carrots and like whatever. Like it feels like something you would give an elementary school kid.
Right.
And
then it's these the two gay characters who
have the most brutal death. Other than Gladys, but we'll get to Gladys as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it feels like these characters these two especially, like James and Marcus, are being punished for not conforming to certain societal standards. James being, you know, a lot like very like othered in the sense that he is like
struggling with
addiction, and that's driven him to not have a house and have no money and be in poverty. And then with like Marcus, it's the fact that he is not in a heterosexual relationship with a family.
Right.
Like, he's punished for that here.
Right.
Where he's forced to kill his partner and then he gets killed.
Meanwhile, we have the other characters, for example, the father, who he's treated very seriously the entire time. You don't have these weird like underlying jokes about this guy here. No. And like, there's he's just allowed to be complex and very, you know, his emotions are validated. Like, everything around him is treated very seriously in comparison to these other two characters.
Yeah. And then we have the antagonist of the movie,
which
Aunt Gladys.
Is the main thing that pisses me off, because I'm like, first of all, I'm very much over the like old hag, like fucking genre making.
And Zach Kreger loves an old hag.
Yeah, this is the second time. Get something
of his
new.
2 movies. Both of them have been like, what if there was an old lady?
What if the scary thing was an old woman? I'm like,
have you considered?
Can you get something new? Can you do something new?
Yeah.
But like, even along with that, she's also a very eccentric older woman, single woman, a witch who is preying on all these nice little families, and it's destroying the little nuclear family. And is the threat to the community
and to children,
specifically. And it's not great. It's not great at all. Yeah. There's something very misogynistic about it, and also just weird that you're treating this, once again, othered person as the weird, scary person who's preying on the community.
And then, if I may, it's also stupid. I think the fact that it's a fucking witch who
it ruins
basically just needs to like eat these children, like, is like, it's dumb. Yeah, it's dumb.
100%.
Like, when I was like, oh, it's a witch, I remember being like, oh,
it ruins it so much, because what I wanted to see was more like the decay of the community. Like, what happens when, like,
I want it to be the social rot of suburbia itself.
Like, I wanted to really get into that. Because like, what happens when something so traumatic happens to a community like this? I thought we were going to further continue to get into it. And then all of a sudden it's like switch to this, like,
what if it was a witch? Yeah. And she, like, wears a goofy wig and clown-like makeup.
Right.
And has, like, a silly demeanor. And uses weird language, whatever. And then, like, on top of it, like, there is this idea, once again, communicated here, that the danger to the suburban nuclear family is an outsider. Someone who comes in from the outside and ruins the community. When typically, if something is going to hurt you're like a kid in a suburban, you know, household, it's their parents.
It's inside
the house. The call is coming from inside the house.
Call is coming from inside the house.
And so the fact that it's like, no, the parents are good here. It's a witch from outside. They were
justified in their weird little witch hunt. Their
witch hunt literally ended with them catching a witch.
Right. That, and how boring is that?
Yeah.
That's also extremely fucking boring.
Yeah.
I can't. I cannot.
It's so fucking stupid. And so then, like, yeah, we get into Alex. And, like, I did like Alex's thing. Once again, this would have been a good short film. But basically, Alex is the man on the inside.
Right.
Because he was forced to basically sacrificed the rest of his classmates because Aunt Gladys was his mom's aunt who shows up.
Alex's piece as a standalone
would have been a great short film, yeah.
Yeah, is...
Like, it stands alone on its own, but, like, as a part of this movie, I'm like... I don't know. If you watch Justine's bit and then you watch Alex's bit, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
So basically, Aunt Gladys moved in because she's very sick, and, you know, she then takes control of his parents, and he has to feed them soup. And I did find the bit where he can't figure out how to use the can opener, so next time he goes to buy soup, he only gets the pull tabs because he can't use the can opener. Very sad.
Poor baby.
And then, you know, she's like, I'm not getting better, and I thought your parents would make me better, but now I need more, so go and get me some stuff. Like, I did find the scene where she's, like, giving him all the threats very off-putting. It was menacing, but it still didn't have the terror of any of the earlier segments, like the first two segments.
We already saw her as a fucking clown, essentially.
Yeah. So then, you know, he goes to school and he takes all of their name tags. We also saw that he was, like, bullied by Archer's son. Like, his son's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
And so then he steals all their name tags and he gives those to her, and she uses those for a spell, and that's what makes them all run to the house, and then they live in her basement. I don't know how she's feeding off of them. That's never really explained.
Yeah, it's not.
And how it's making her stronger. It looks like, I don't know. I have no clue what it is.
It's just up in the air. And I am one for, you know, we don't need to be explained everything. And to be honest, I felt like they did explain too much. But that's something I'm like,
how is she feeding off of them? I can't figure it out.
I feel like stuff that shouldn't have been said
was said, and then stuff that should have been said wasn't.
Right.
So anyway, they're dealing with all that. It all starts to converge, unfortunately. I don't know. And then Justine and Marcus, like, looked at the map at the end of, I think, Archer's thing, and they were like, oh yeah, it converges. Or maybe at the end of the Marcus. I don't remember. It's after Marcus dies. They go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it all converges here, and that's Alex's house. And so they go to Alex's house, and they see the cop car is still outside, and they're like, that's not good.
That's weird.
And then Paul, the cop, walks out and kind of, like, is oddly motioning for them to come in. And they're like, guess we go in.
I guess.
And then they go in and
they get jumped.
Yeah, they get jumped because Aunt Glass was like, we gotta leave. And I'm like, okay, why don't you just leave? Why do you have to take him with you? Whatever. So then there's all this salt everywhere, and she was like, don't cross it, to Alex. And so they're just like, whatever. And so they walk and they trip the salt, and so the guy starts running at him, and there's this whole fight downstairs, and Alex is upstairs, and he sees his parents on the other side, and he's, like, approaching it.
He's like, fuck, I'm gonna walk across this salt.
Yeah, he's like, I think I have a plan.
Yeah.
And so he runs up, like, he gets the salt, and then his parents start chasing him. He goes in the room, whatever. He grabs a little branch. Downstairs, they're trying to solve that situation. Justine peels Paul's face with a potato peeler. It doesn't do anything, but it is something that happens.
Yeah.
And Archer gets knocked into the basement, but in the basement, he sees the kids are there.
Right.
So Justine takes Paul's gun, shoots him in the head, runs over, shoots James in the head, which made me very sad.
It made me sad,
James, could have gotten that $50,000.
I know.
If they had waited. Whatever. So then, Alex grabs one of Aunt Gladys's wigs, takes one of her hairs, wraps it around the branch, does a little ritual, and then the kids all start running and chasing Aunt Gladys. And this is where the movie just becomes silly.
It's so silly. And I'm sure the kids had a lot of fun chasing after
I'm sure they had a fun day on
I was
set.
like, Wow.
I remember
Okay.
sitting in the theater being like, "Is this the climax?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
goofy ass
Yeah.
fucking skit."
It was not good.
And so they're like chasing her through all these different houses, and then
They start tearing her
they
apart.
they get her and they just start tearing her to pieces. And then once her head is separated from the rest of her body, the spell is broken, and the kids are all just standing in a shower of gore,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the end.
Yeah. That's the end of it.
There's nothing
There's
else.
nothing else. No, but like,
I can't explain, like, on the second watch through, the second half of this movie is such a slog to get through.
it really was. Honestly, I tried to watch it the day before and I was falling asleep. So I was like, I guess I have to finish it the next day.
I started watching it and then I paused it to do something, and then 45 minutes passed and I didn't go back to the movie, and I was like, I'm gonna keep watching this tomorrow because
it's not good. I also felt very validated when I found out one of my friends from my little movie group chat hated it as well. And I was like, thank you. And you have good taste. So I know we
And
on the same motherfucking team.
the thing that started, because once again, like, we were trying to figure out a way to make this movie
yes,
work. We were bending over backwards and twisting this narrative into a pretzel. And then when I heard Zach Kreger say that, one, it didn't mean anything. Well, one, that it didn't have any political agenda, and I was like, you're a fucking idiot if you think you can include all the things that you chose to include and there's no political agenda. Either that or just straight up ignorant.
Right.
And then the other thing was when he was like, someone was asking about the meaning of the gun, and he's like, I have no set meaning for it. It's just something that appeared to me in a dream. I'm very inspired by David Lynch. And I'm like, do you think that David Lynch and surrealism is just putting weird stuff in to make stuff weird?
There is nothing dreamlike, nothing surrealist about this film.
Like, take the dream sequence from this movie and then compare it to the scene from Mulholland Drive where the guy is explaining his dream in the diner, and tell me which one is more successful.
Mm-hmm.
Because that conversation about the dream has a million meanings in it that relate to the story of Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
If you wanted it to kind of descend into dream space, it had to do more, you know? And it just felt like the feet of the movie were too planted on the ground for it to ever be dreamlike. And, like, once again, not to like draw from Mulholland Drive again, but like there are like bits of that movie that are extremely darkly funny. Like the whole hitman sequence where he keeps fucking it up, like, is very funny despite the fact that it is a hitman doing a hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm trying to think of any of the sequences in this that were like attempts at a similar type of humor, but it never achieves it. It's just like, and I had this conversation, and we were, I was struggling to find parking, and so we had a pre-conversation about this movie before we actually came up and recorded. But I was like, so like Zach Kreger, he used to do comedy. He's from it was like The Whitest Kids You Know. And he, like, and I do think that comedy and horror do have similar structure. Like there is, like, with comedy, you have like the build up and then punchline.
Yeah.
And then with horror, you have the tension and then the climax. Like there is a catharsis to the tension. But I feel like when you mismatch them in this particular way, where you have all of this tension that ends in a joke, it robs you of the catharsis.
Yeah.
And it's not in like a, you know, an interesting way, like a subversion. It just felt frustrating.
Yeah.
Like I was like, so what the fuck was the point of the previous 2 hours of this movie if you're gonna end it in the dumbest joke where the kids tear the witch apart?
Yeah. God, I hate it. I hate it so much.
There's certain so like things I can't stand, and a witch did it, and also it was the devil are my two least favorite like conclusions
it's so
for a horror
uninteresting.
movie. Yeah,
it's not interesting at all.
It means that you don't have to examine any of the characters in the movie because a fucking witch was there or the devil did it. It's like, okay, well, like.
And there's so much potential here. Like I said, I wanted us to be more within the like community, and I wanted to see that decay within the community instead. That's what I kind of thought we were getting. And even though like the Ring cameras are kind of, you know, evil, I would have liked to see more like footage like of like through the cameras would have been interesting. Because I wanted to be a little bit more obscured, and I wanted that mystery to just kind of, I wanted to retain that mystery throughout the story, but I don't know, it just, then he didn't do that.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed because there's so much potential. There's so much potential in that first bit that we got. And so many like interesting conversations that could have come out from it.
Yeah.
That were missed out by the choices that were made. So,
if you want to watch a storyline about the ways in which the evils in the community are caused by suburban decay, you should watch Twin Peaks.
Here we go.
There you go. Yeah. I can't get more into that because Amari hasn't gotten far enough for me to talk more deeply about Twin Peaks.
Okay, the reason why it's taking so long is because we were watching it as
with our busiest friend.
Yes, so I have to wait, and we got like one more episode for the season 1, and then did we finish it?
No, we need to watch the season finale of season 1.
Okay, and then I'll probably just watch the rest on my own just to get through it, but.
And then we'll watch Fire Walk with Me, and then you will understand.
Yeah.
And then if you want, you can watch The Return, but most people haven't, but I've seen The Return.
Of course, yeah.
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 I need to watch The Missing Pieces, and then read The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, and then I'll have everything.
To be a true
knower of the Twin Peaks. It's just, I've heard that The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer is so fucking hard. Like, not like bad, it's a hard read.
Oh, God. I'm sure it is. From what I understand from the movie alone, I'm sure it is.
You don't even understand what you know about the movie alone, but yeah.
Listen, I'm sure.
And then, like, you know, we've kind of been, like, saying there's no meaning. But, like, I do understand. And, like, this was part of what I tried to twist the story into, by the way.
We were, like...
That, like, this did come... Like, he started writing this, like, after the death of a friend, I believe.
I believe that's what was said.
And he was kind of trying to, like, work through the grief of it. And then he was, like, making a movie isn't a replacement for working through grief. But that being said, he also said that it's not about grief.
Yeah.
He just said that he wrote it when he was grieving.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not about grief, obviously. You have a bunch of parents who are grieving a loss.
Right.
But I think because there's literally like 10,000 moving parts in this movie, and every idea he could possibly think of crammed in it, it makes it so, like, it's oversaturated.
I think that's a problem that I have noticed with a lot of, like, films I have not jived with recently, that I feel like a lot of other people have liked or whatnot, is that oftentimes people will try to put way too much into a movie, and I'm like,
do less.
Take
a couple of things and explore those thoroughly instead of doing 10 things and exploring them poorly.
I think Him was one of them that did that. Not that people didn't like that one, but like that was one of the ones I think most recent.
Can I be honest? Backrooms was like that for me. It was trying to tell too many stories. It should have focused on one story and just only had that story. I think splitting the attention the way that it did between the two characters.
I do not like that. Didn't work for me.
It didn't work.
We talked about this already a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't feel like it's one that I hated like this one, but it was one that actually didn't work for me as well as it worked for other people.
Yeah.
And I also really wanted that one too as well. I was very excited for that.
This was another one though where I was like, the draw of the backrooms is not understanding what's happening. So how do you sustain that for a whole movie? And the answer is you can kind of do it, kind of. Yeah. The best parts of Backrooms were the handheld footage sections.
Yes, I love that.
Those were the ones where I felt the most scared. Everything else, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
There's definitely been others. And I'm like,
but I also
streamline it a little bit.
Backrooms a little bit more grace just because the director is so young.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I give Zach Kreger less grace because this is his second feature.
Exactly. No, 100%. Like I don't, and like I said, I don't have any. Well, yeah, I don't have any hate for Backrooms. I have my critiques. I also have my critiques. We've written a little bit on our Twitter about like the thing that we race
particular like that. It's like it was. There was an example. Well, we can't talk about Backrooms.
We can't talk about it right here. Okay, we can't talk about Backrooms right now. Yeah. but yeah, it's just I feel like that's been a trend. I also feel like there's been a trend of horror films that work really well at the start and then they kind of fall apart at the end.
That is not a recent trend.
That is I felt about Long Legs.
Yeah, that is a consistent problem all the time. Like I joke, I think I referred to it once when I was talking to my mom. It's like end of the movie-itis. Like they can't figure out how to end it. Mm-hmm. They're like, shit, we gotta end the movie.
Yeah.
Because I kind of felt that way about the show Midnight Mass. That I was like, it suffers from how the fuck do we end this thing?
I haven't watched that yet.
I didn't like it. That's a really controversial opinion.
I know. They're going to get you.
I really did like the start. The start of it is so good, but also controversial opinion. I don't like Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, we know. But we are going to watch Carrie for Delaney Hales, and we're going to love it.
For sure. We can't keep talking about all these other things that we dislike. We keep getting distracted. But yeah, basically, I think TLDR, this movie does way too much.
Speaking of doing too much and talking about too many different things.
Oh, God. But it's, okay, so this movie does way too much. And secondly,
the way that they treat the other.
Yeah, the way that it treats like people in the margins, I really dislike. On top of it, Zach Kreger's insistence that the movie is not political, whilst the narrative itself reinforces heavily conservative ideas, I find very concerning because what that means is that those ideas are not considered political. Mm-hmm. And I fucking hate that a witch did it.
Yeah.
There you
go.
There you go.
That's all we got,
There you
folks.
go. That's all we got.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Straight from the Coffin. Once again, I'm your host, Amari. Dude's like, what are you doing? You never do this.
Yeah, I'm like, what the
Can I be silly? Okay. Damn. Anyways.
No, I'm Jude.
Yeah, you didn't say your name.
No, because I was bewildered.
Confused. Can a guy try something new every now and then?
No, you have to be the same every time.
Oh, wow. No growth. Okay. Anyways, thank you for joining us. I don't know what we're watching next. I feel like I had to pick something, but I don't know.
We have a list, and we'll decide what we end up watching from that list. But yeah,
to be honest, doing this reminded me of something else that that I hated, but I wanted to love, that also deals with an older woman, and that was The Deliverance. And I'm like, that could be something, but we'll see.
Okay. I don't know anything about that one.
You watched it.
Did I? I don't think so.
Am I thinking of the wrong name? Let me see.
Wait.
What was the one with Brandy?
Oh, The Front Room.
Oh, The Front Room. There's two of them, because there's The Deliverance, which also was really bad and also deal with the old white woman, and then there's The Front Room. I'm just getting them confused because they're both
Here's the thing. I also hated The Front Room. I don't want to rewatch that movie.
You're like, too much shit.
Literally. It's too gross. But anyway, all that to say, we'll see what we end up watching and talking about.
It might make Jude suffer.
Ugh. But anyway, that's all we have for this one.
If you listen to this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. And if not, thank you for joining us anyways. You are always free to support us on our bus route and give us money too. So that's another way you can support.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all, folks.
Bye.
Bye.